Week one is about foundation rather than technical details about transformational digital transformation. The purpose is to build a shared vocabulary and a way of thinking. And people often arrive assuming that digital transformation simply means using more technology. So this is an opening like opening slash to establish a more careful view. Transformation matters because it changes how a firm creates value and organizes the works, or maybe serve the customers or competes. So we can reassure, or we must be assured that this module stays practical. They don't need to computing knowledge and the need of managerial judgment, clear language, and the ability to connect evidence to the business choices are the important part in this module, in this tutorial. And I would like to invite you to the next 6 weeks as a sequence to get in detail, to watch and learn a little bit more. So I'm basically introducing the whole topic in a simple way. Digital transformation is not just about buying a new technology or moving things online. It is about changing how a business works, how it serves customers, how decisions are made, and how value is created. All needs to be changed if you keep your business as it is. You may struggle to keep up, and your competitor is going to come and get your market share at one point in the future. And so my aim is to help people understand the basic meaning of digital transformation with this presentation, and why it matters in business, and why is it bigger than just digitization or using more digital tools. So just how weeks are going to move out this way. I'm still planning on dynamic capabilities, which I may postpone to publish that one a bit later, because I'm still thinking and I'm trying to improve that presentation. And so, like, we are going to use this roadmap to show everyone that week one is not isolated. It is conceptual foundation for the next 5 years, 5 seminars or a tutorial. I don't know how to name this teaching, therefore I just sometimes use a seminar, sometimes use a tutorial. So this is our sequence, and business model innovation is going to be mentioned next week, which is what value changes. And the week after, adoption frameworks ask why people and organization embrace or resist tools. And dynamic capabilities are plan. This is still on plan, and this week is going to still ask how firms renew themselves, how they improve their capabilities to make something new, value generation. Okay, so digital transformation is about value generation. So therefore, it is up to people's capabilities or organizational capabilities. So leadership and culture and ethics skills. So this week is addressing that human and moral side of change. And performance measurement asks whether any of these actual works framing the model this way helps students or help us see digital transformation as a single topic but management agenda. So that stretches across strategy, organization, and evaluation. So this slide is about like framing of all of them in a one go. So when you present, when lecturers present something, we always keep some learning outcome, and you can find learning outcome as a refer in my slides, because I would like to keep them alive in the slides for the future reference later on. And the aim is to become more precise in diagnosis and recommendation. And business students sometimes or often, I must say often, feel more confident once they realize the topic is about judgment, coordination, and value creation, not about writing a programming code. So therefore, I need to indicate again, digital transformation is, we are not looking that side. Okay. So I have tend to make that kind of presentation for business analytics section, data analytics. Yeah, if you want, you can still learn, but it's not going to be deep. I'm gonna use some Python codes to find data computation, removal unnecessary outliers, or some codes are involved, but not complete program. Okay. So first principle is about, I think, maybe, yeah. First principle is, I would like to spend some time here. This distinction is the most common source of early misunderstanding. People often use the three terms interchangeably in daily life, especially when they see the company launching app or automate a workflow. I would like to ask, or I would like to remind you that, or encourage you to ask, what exactly change? Okay, they may apply an application or automate flow, but it might be not the case of value change. The value the organization or firm creating didn't change, then it doesn't mean they transform themselves. They only digitize or digitalize their processes. So if the answer is like what the answer to what exactly change is only the format of information, that is this digitization. If the answer is process efficiency, that is digitalization. And if answer the organization wider value logic or wider logic of value creation, if the answer is that one, then we can say transformation. So just I want you to encourage you like use a plain language when you are using and these elements. Okay. Yeah. So this slide is really about stopping you from thinking digital transformation just means we made the website nicer or we launch an application. A new interface might be the most visible part, but it doesn't automatically mean the business has transformed. In the meantime, I would like to remind you that sometimes digital transformation or digitization could be internal program, not website or application, maybe SAP, maybe ERP, enterprise requirement management systems. But mainly I'm going to use website or application in my presentation, but you can divert those means into ERP or MRP packages organizations are using. Okay. to count as a real transformation, something deeper is to change underneath the strategy, the way people work, the culture, the operations, this customer journey, and sometimes even the business model itself. So I would tell all of you to look past the shiny front and or ask what has actually changed in how the organization creates and delivers value, whether it is change or not. So this is the main point. The other key point here is the management question. So management question at the bottom, how do firms turn technology spending into better performance? So sometimes, we see transformation, digital transformation asking this one. It is not a wrong question. Okay. How do firms turn technology spending into better performance? This is another question. So how the firms convert technology invest into improved organizational performance. Here on the slide, you can see that is the real issue. Plenty of companies buy expensive systems, Just I'm checking whether I shared screen or not. Okay, it seems I shared. Time. Just double check because later on it could be too late. Yes, it seems it's still there. So strategy is a starting point, and that one needs to be included. And operations, people, and culture. Transformation changes the whole business system as a model. Okay, so business model is you can imagine we have a model. Next week we will see it on the second week. It is change on value creation, and this slide is the next slide is coming from based on digital transformation as a process. Maybe I gave that one because from the Wiles view. This is Wiles view. Okay, I think it's useful. One of the article, and mainly I'm using his view. And this slide is useful because it shows digital transformation as a process, not a dramatic moment. So Wiles' idea is that change usually begins when new digital technologies create fresh possibilities, and those possibilities start to disrupt market, customer expectation, and internal ways of working. Then managers have to decide how to respond, and only after that do we see whether the firm actually creates value or simply creates chaos. A simple anecdote for the first step is something like online food delivery platforms. Let's say the technology itself didn't transform restaurant overnight, but smartphones, location tracking, maybe app-based payments. So as you can see, more than one technology involving, and all of them combination might suddenly made a new service model possible. So that is step one, and digital technology is opening the door to something that was harder or slower before. And you can start to add up some extra thing. And the second and third step is disruption and strategic responses, where the real managerial story begins actually. So what you need to understand at this point, once technologies exist, they start disrupting routines and expectations, and you need to keep up with that one for sure. And if you quit, keep up with that one, it means you are leaving. You are going to leave the competition to your market share or your competitors. Customer began to expect speed because today is, as usual, everyone, this is common sense, convenience, they are looking at visibility, where is their product are coming, some personalization, and firms feel pressure adopt these. Okay, so this is the basic point. Think about like a banking on once mobile application become normal, customers no longer want to wait in line for simple tasks like checking balances and transferring money. It was the same for supermarkets. So like self-checkouts are existing, and I can see like really few counters are open for person counters are open, and self-checkouts are still running fairly quickly, and people preferring that one, even though there was some resistance at the beginning. So is the disruption? Yeah, this is the disruption, but disruption alone doesn't create success. So yeah, technological disruption is that one, but the next step should be strategic response. Okay, so as you can see, this process, Wiles process, is taking us to detail about the project, about this digital transformation is not steps or final destination. It is a process. And the next step is strategic response, where managers choose what to do about it. Okay, and this is the strategic response, and what they are going to do. And these are their choices about structure, process, capabilities, and strategy, or tactical way. Okay, so this lecture is not about strategy, but if you have some background, I hope you understand these elements are choices, tactics about changing structure and process to adopt those strategies. And that is the, that is the disruption, and strategic response are the second and third step of the process. A small anecdote here maybe could be helpful, like traditional retailer noticing customer browsing in store but buying online. One response is to panic or cut costs everywhere. A better response is to redesign the business, connect store and online store, offer click and collect, retrain staff, and once use more data, customer data, and wisely or intelligently use those data. And that is strategy in action and not just technology adoption. So it was a bit like, this anecdote is kind of like reactive, not like expected, better expectations, but losing customers is could be a bit challenge later on. Winning them back is challenge. Okay, losing it could be easy, but winning them back could be challenge. So the final step of value is the value creation and outcome, which is we are going to look at that one. I think next week. I plan to do that one next week, and this is where we ask whether the transformation actually improved the performance. So value creation could be really good idea, formidable, might have formidable elements, but if it doesn't improve the performance, why we predicted value creation? This is coming up. But don't forget, sometimes disruptions are not accepted. Like Spotify, years and years later, they start to make a profit. So you may need to wait. The customer or technology is accepted by everyone. So technology life cycle or customers life cycle will show you that one. From innovation and from marketing lectures, probably you must know those. So I don't want to disrupt these slides to include them. So a good anecdote here is self-checkout in supermarkets. In some stores, it creates value because queues are full. Staff can focus on other tasks and customers with a few items get through quickly. But in other stores, it causes frustration or errors and worse experience, especially if the system is unreliable or there aren't enough staff nearby to help. That is why while model is so helpful because you can diagnose where the problem is occurring, because technology is mainly accepted, maybe can take some time to digest by public and by organization, but later on it needs to be applied. Okay. It's impossible to change, but it's important to create a value. And this self-checkout example and Wiles models remind us that digital transformation is not automatically positive, create positive outcome. Technologies create possibilities, disruption creates pressure, obviously, because as earlier I gave the example, and strategy shape the response and outcome depend on how well the whole process is managed. I'm done with this slide, and a little bit from a managerial perspective. So this slide makes a very simple but important point. Having good technology is not the same as being good at digital transformation. A company can buy new systems, launch applications or apps, because we know sometimes they launch more than one app and collect data, still not improve much if there is no clear leadership behind. So leadership is what gives direction and decides priorities. If there is no leadership, it's really struggle to keep up in cohort, in coherent organization. Yeah, reaching there, asking to reach the one of the target and gets people, let's say, gets people aligned. Okay. And so this is going to make sure digital projects are connected real business goals. And as you can see, I'm not saying digital transformation, but because value creation not guaranteed at the time. Okay, so therefore I say. And so the main message I would say here is the technology gives the tools, but leadership makes those tools actually work together. So here is this matrix help us to see that not all firms fail, succeed for the same reason that the bottom left beginners are weak in both technology and leadership. They are still at a very early stage. So then at the top, on the top to left, conservatives may have sensible leadership and control, but they are cautious and don't push digital change very far. At the bottom right, fashionistas are often the most interesting because they look busy and modern and surface with lots of digital projects happening, but those efforts are scattered and not joined up. So if you see these digital projects are happening, but they are not like joined up each other, you can start to mention that fashionistas leadership capabilities are exist there. Okay. So a simple anecdotes are here is a company that launches a chatbot, a new application, maybe a data dashboard like business analytics with intelligence at all once, but staff are confused, teams are not coordinated, well coordinated, or customers has good problems are still not being solved. It looks digital, but it is not truly transformation. So the ideal position is the top right, digital masters. So these are the firms, digital capability and leadership capabilities reinforce each other. They don't just adopt technology because it is fashionable. They use it with clear sense of purpose. A nice way to explain this in class or in here to say that leadership turns tools into the coordinated change, coordinated value creation. So when our analysis analyzes a company, they shouldn't just ask what technology has this firm bought. They should ask who is leading this change. Okay, so how well is it coordinated? How they are ready? So this is the part I'm going to do actually in this lectures. Okay, and one of the short case study, what transformation look like. Just I want you to read and point out what change here on the left on Netflix or what change in the Zara. And so as you can see, value changes are exist, but some of the organizations couldn't keep up, and some did, and they made themselves a market leader. They made their own brand. Okay. Yeah. So I don't want to say anything about these. I just want to stop here and maybe make some comment later on in the chat thread. I'm happy to read them. Okay. So some of the empirical evidences I would like to mention, OECD perspective. So this is evidence, and the OECD figures show why digital capability remains strategically important. The ICT sector has grown much faster than total economy across OECD countries over the last decade. It means they adapt really quickly. They are ready. Their capabilities, their leaderships are really understand the technology, how they are going to adapt, how they are going to evolve themselves, evolve their value creation. The second MIT Capgemini work is another research on the right hand, because it reframes the managerial question. The real issue is that not whether technology matters, but why some firms translate it to the stronger performance. So 400 large firms are suggest digital and mature organization combine two strengths at once: strong digital capability, invest in customer experience, operations, and business model change, and strong leadership capabilities, clear direction, governance, prioritization, and change management. Why these are matters? And without leadership, digital initiatives stays fragmented, because their leadership is like orchestrating the organization, and they are needed, okay, for this digital transformation. They need to understand what is going on, how they are going to change the value transformation. And capability, without capability or ambition of the leadership, this all this transformation stay as a rhetorical. And so I say here my message, but your message after learning this elements spend more on technology is not. It is a building capability and leading the change is the digital transformation. So on the base of Wiles study and MIT Capgemini and OECD perspective, I built these slides because these are showing the importance of the understanding digital transformation in a very different manner. And yeah. I just add up like in my at the end of my slides like discussion questions. So the first question pushes like whoever reading this one or whoever watching this one to see the challenges organizational conversion. So what is the central management problem in this week? Topic is important to understand, okay, how firms turn technology investment into improved performance. The hard part is not purchasing technology. So this is the main core element. And for the second one, this question is which theory best explain the success of failure? The Wiles is the best starting theory because it explains transformation into the different small, because we are into small process steps because we are human and we evolve that way. We evolve while understanding the problems of phenomena. If we divide it into the small pieces because we have only simple processor when we are understanding. And while is strong because it gives a process explanation and because it explains why some firms remain fragmented and the best students, best of understanding who may answer often can combine Wiles and technology shouldn't buy together and so this is the key element of digital transformation. The third question is what evidence would need before implementing action to senior managers? You would want the evidence on on customer pain points. Maybe you can start to check process bottlenecks. So as you can see, these are the simple like subjective things. But you need to enumerate, you need to create some metrics to measure them after implementing digital transformation, because we as a management, we would like to manage things with numbers. It is difficult to convince board, managerial board later on if you don't have metrics to show whether your system is statistically giving any evidence or not. So yeah, this is the part of and so these are the three discussion questions I want you to spend some time on them. So some of the short story activity I would like to give here. This activity is deliberately short and discussion based. But if you are happy, I'm happy to see and read your chat thread, your comments or your discussion, because this is part of learning. If you show what you learn, then we can improve you. Okay. Its purpose is diagnostic reasoning, not factual recall. So I would like to encourage you to pick a pump you know well, and well enough to discuss the thermometer scale, like helps. This is like it is not like something is digital. I just made on this like manual. Okay, and thermometer scale helps you to measure, move from binary thinking. A firm can be somewhere in the middle more than digitize. So this is going to be subjective, and I'm not going to judge it is wrong or good, but I would like to see whether you are articulating these elements, these terms, terminology correctly or not. And the most important part is justification. And just I want to ask you to explain, I want you to explain what change in the strategy, operations, customer experience, and business model. So you don't need to give any firm name. You can say firm A, firm B. Then you can add comments of what they did and what is happening. Okay, so we can keep like anonymous firms. Okay, so if they cannot do that transformation or this transformation explanation, you may need to read or re-watch this video, and you need to improve yourself. Otherwise, your idea could be in shallow, and your understanding and your time is going to be wasted. And like choose familiar company, for example, a bank or Netflix or Amazon, and place in a lower high transformation scale, justify the position using a four lens strategy, operations, customer experience, and business model, and state one piece of evidence that would strengthen your judgment. So these are my things for today, and some comments you can stop here and you can read. And frequent misunderstanding and corrective comments for the tutor. And some of the references are here. And thank you very much for watching this record, and I hope it was helpful. If you like it, and I'm happy to see you click like button. Thank you. Take care.